Are you tired of looking cheap despite spending good money on clothes? After studying what makes outfits look expensive versus budget, I've discovered 20 colour combinations that instantly elevate any look without breaking the bank. Wait until you see number 14, colour combination. Number 1, navy and cream, classic elegance. Here's something I see constantly with women over 50. They avoid navy and cream, thinking it's too basic, but this combination is actually the foundation of expensive-looking style. What's really happening is that navy and cream create the perfect contrast that signals sophistication and timeless elegance without trying too hard. The professional secret is that this colour pairing works because it mimics the classic combinations that luxury brands use repeatedly in their most expensive pieces. What I've found works consistently is using navy as your dominant colour with cream as the accent, creating a sophisticated palette that looks intentionally curated rather than accidental. Here's how to execute this perfectly. Choose navy pieces in quality fabrics like wool or cotton, add cream through accessories like scarves, bags or shoes, and ensure both colours are true to tone rather than muddy or off shades. Look for navy that's deep and rich, not faded, and cream that's warm rather than stark white. The visual result should be effortless sophistication that works from casual to formal settings. Colour combination number 2, camel and white sophisticated neutrals. Watch what happens when women choose camel and white together. They instantly look more expensive and put together than those wearing random colour combinations without thought. The reason this pairing works so beautifully is that camel and white create warmth and brightness while maintaining the neutral sophistication that signals quality and good taste. What actually works better than stark contrast is this warm tonal approach that creates depth without being overwhelming or attention-seeking in inappropriate ways. The key insight is that camel and white work together because they're both warm undertones that complement rather than compete with each other for attention. For camel and white success, choose camel pieces in rich, true tones rather than muddy browns. Pair with crisp white rather than cream for maximum contrast, and add gold-toned accessories to enhance the warm undertones. The visual goal is sophisticated warmth that looks intentional and expensive. Do you see what I mean? These warm neutrals create instant sophistication that looks effortlessly expensive. Colour combination number 3, black and soft grey modern minimalism. Here's something that comes up often in my consultations. Women think black and grey is too sombre, but this combination actually creates the most sophisticated, expensive-looking palette possible. The professional principle behind this pairing is that black and soft grey create depth and interest while maintaining the minimalist aesthetic that luxury brands favour. What makes this combination particularly effective is that it allows texture and quality to shine rather than relying on bright colours to create interest. What creates successful black and grey styling is understanding that the grey should be soft and warm rather than stark or cool-toned for the most flattering effect. Someone came to me thinking black and grey was boring, but when we styled her in a soft grey cashmere sweater with black trousers and black accessories, she looked incredibly chic and expensive. The combination was sophisticated without being harsh, and the soft grey brought warmth to her complexion, while the black added structure and elegance. When working with black and grey, choose soft, warm greys rather than cool or stark tones. Use black as your grounding colour through shoes, bags, or structured pieces, and add texture through different fabrics like cashmere, silk, or quality knits. The visual test is sophisticated minimalism that looks intentional rather than accidental. Your black and grey palette should feel modern and expensive, while being completely accessible and wearable for everyday sophistication. I'm so excited you're here learning these colour secrets. If you want more budget-friendly styling tips that create expensive looks, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I share money-saving fashion strategies for women over 50 regularly. Now, let's continue because the next combinations are absolute game changers. Colour combination number 4, Burgundy and Blush Romantic Richness. Here's what I share with my clients about creating expensive-looking colour combinations. Burgundy and blush create the perfect balance of richness and femininity that signals sophistication. The reason this pairing works so effectively is that burgundy provides depth and luxury, while blush adds softness and femininity without being juvenile. What I've found works consistently is using burgundy as your statement colour with blush, as the softening accent that prevents the look from being too heavy. The key principle is that these colours work together because they're both warm undertones that create harmony rather than conflict in your overall palette. The transformation happens when you embrace these rich, warm colours that enhance your natural colouring. Choose Burgundy in quality fabrics that showcase the richness of the colour, add blush through accessories, scarves or secondary pieces, and ensure both colours have warm rather than cool undertones. The visual goal is romantic sophistication that looks intentional and expensive. Colour combination number 5, forest green and gold, luxurious depth. Something I've discovered through my work is that forest green and gold create the most luxurious looking combination that instantly elevates any outfit to expensive status. Here's exactly what makes this pairing so effective. Forest green provides richness and depth, while gold adds warmth and luxury that signals quality and sophistication. The principle behind this combination is that green and gold are naturally harmonious colours that create the kind of rich palette associated with luxury brands. What creates the most expensive looking results is using forest green as your dominant colour, with gold accents through jewellery, accessories or metallic details. For forest green and gold success, choose deep, rich greens rather than bright or lime tones. Add gold through jewellery, belts, shoes or bag hardware, and ensure the green has warm rather than cool undertones. The visual checkpoint is luxurious richness that looks intentional and expensive. Can you spot the difference these rich, warm combinations make in creating an expensive appearance? Colour combination number 6, dusty rose and charcoal sophisticated contrast. My clients consistently ask me about colours that look expensive, and dusty rose with charcoal creates the perfect sophisticated contrast that signals quality and good taste. What I've learned through professional experience is that this combination works because it balances femininity with strength, creating visual interest without being overwhelming. The key insight is that dusty rose and charcoal work together because they create enough contrast to be interesting while maintaining sophisticated harmony. What separates expensive-looking combinations from cheap ones is understanding that the contrast should be sophisticated, rather than jarring or attention-seeking in inappropriate ways. The secret is using charcoal as your grounding neutral, with dusty rose as the feminine accent that adds warmth and interest to the sophisticated base. Look for dusty rose in soft, muted tones rather than bright pinks. Pair with charcoal grey rather than black for a softer contrast, and add metallic accents in silver or pewter to enhance the sophisticated palette. The visual test is refined femininity that looks intentional and expensive. Your dusty rose and charcoal combination should feel sophisticated and polished while being completely achievable through thoughtful colour coordination and smart shopping choices. Colour combination number 7, ivory and taupe tonal sophistication. Here's something that comes up often in my consultations. Women think tonal dressing is boring, but ivory and taupe create the most sophisticated, expensive-looking palette possible. The professional principle behind tonal dressing is that it allows quality and fit to shine while creating the kind of refined aesthetic that luxury brands favour. What makes ivory and taupe particularly effective is that they create depth and interest through subtle variation rather than obvious contrast. What creates successful tonal dressing is understanding that the colours should be close enough to harmonise but different enough to create visual interest and dimension. I had a styling session where the woman was wearing ivory and taupe together and looked incredibly expensive and polished, even though her pieces were from affordable retailers. The tonal combination created sophistication through subtlety rather than obvious colour blocking. When working with ivory and taupe, choose warm undertones in both colours for the most flattering effect. Vary the textures to create interest within the tonal palette and add metallic accents in gold or bronze to enhance the warm undertones. The visual goal is sophisticated subtlety that looks intentional and expensive. I'd love to know, which colour combination are you most excited to try? Be honest, I see women transform their entire look just by understanding these expensive-looking colour principles. Colour combination number 8, sage green and cream, natural elegance. Here's a different way to think about expensive-looking colours. Sage green and cream create the perfect natural elegance that signals sophistication and good taste. The reason this combination works so beautifully is that sage green provides subtle colour, while cream adds brightness without being stark or harsh. What makes this approach particularly effective for women over 50 is that these colours are universally flattering and create a fresh, natural aesthetic. What I notice repeatedly is that women who embrace these soft, natural colours always look more expensive and polished than those wearing bright or harsh combinations. The solution is using sage green as your colour statement with cream as the brightening accent that prevents the look from being too muted or dull. Choose sage green in quality fabrics that showcase the subtle beauty of the colour. Pair with warm cream rather than stark white for the most flattering contrast, and add natural accessories in wood, wicker, or natural fibres. The visual goal is natural sophistication that looks effortless and expensive. Colour combination number 9, deep purple and silver Regal, Sophistication. Let me share something that might help. Deep purple and silver create the most regal, expensive-looking combination that instantly elevates your sophistication level. Here's what makes this pairing so effective. Deep purple provides richness and drama, while silver adds coolness and luxury that signals quality. The professional approach is using deep purple as your statement colour, with silver accents that enhance the regal quality of the combination. I observe this challenge often with women who avoid purple thinking it's too bold, but deep purple with silver actually creates the most sophisticated and expensive-looking palette possible. The solution is choosing deep, rich purples rather than bright or electric tones, adding silver through jewellery, accessories or metallic details, and ensuring the purple has enough depth to look luxurious rather than juvenile. Look for purple in quality fabrics that showcase the richness of the colour, pair with silver rather than gold for the coolest, most sophisticated effect, and add texture through different fabrics like silk, cashmere or quality knits. The visual checkpoint is regal sophistication that looks intentional and expensive. Your deep purple and silver palette should feel luxurious and dramatic while being achievable through smart colour choices and strategic metallic accents. Colour combination number 10, chocolate brown and champagne, warm luxury. Through my work with women like you, I've learned that chocolate brown and champagne create the warmest, most luxurious looking combination that signals quality and sophistication. Here's exactly what creates this expensive appearance. Chocolate brown provides richness and depth, while champagne adds warmth and luxury through subtle metallic undertones. What I've found works reliably is using chocolate brown as your grounding colour, with champagne accents that add warmth and light to the rich base. This pattern shows up frequently when women avoid brown, thinking it's boring, but chocolate brown with champagne actually creates the most luxurious and expensive-looking palette. The solution is choosing rich, deep browns rather than muddy or dull tones, adding champagne through accessories, scarves, or metallic details, and ensuring both colours have warm undertones for the most flattering effect. Look for chocolate brown in quality fabrics like wool, cashmere, or silk that showcase the richness, pair with champagne or warm gold accents rather than cool metallics, and add texture through different materials and finishes. The visual goal is warm luxury that looks intentional and expensive. What expensive-looking colour combination would you like me to break down next? I love hearing which sophisticated palettes you're most interested in mastering for your wardrobe. Colour combination number 11, slate blue and pearl grey, cool sophistication. Here's something worth understanding about expensive-looking colours. Slate blue and pearl grey create the coolest, most sophisticated palette that signals refined taste and quality. The reason this combination works so effectively is that slate blue provides subtle colour, while pearl grey adds sophistication without being stark or harsh. The principle behind this pairing is that cool undertones create the kind of refined aesthetic that luxury brands use in their most expensive pieces. The difference between expensive-looking and cheap-looking combinations is understanding that cool colours should be sophisticated rather than bright or attention-seeking. The solution is using slate blue as your colour statement, with pearl grey as the sophisticated neutral that enhances the cool, refined aesthetic. Choose slate blue in quality fabrics that showcase the subtle sophistication of the colour, pair with pearl grey rather than stark grey for the most elegant effect, and add silver or platinum accents to enhance the cool undertones. The visual test is cool sophistication that looks intentional and expensive. Colour combination Number 12. Rust and Cream Earthy Elegance. Something I always tell women is that rust and cream create the perfect earthy elegance that looks expensive while being completely natural and wearable. What makes this combination so effective is that rust provides warmth and richness, while cream adds brightness and freshness to prevent the look from being too heavy. The key principle is that these earth tones work together to create the kind of natural luxury that signals sophisticated taste and quality. I had a styling session where the woman was wearing rust and cream together and looked incredibly expensive and polished, with the combination bringing warmth to her complexion while maintaining sophisticated elegance. Choose rust in rich, true tones rather than muddy or dull versions. Pair with warm cream rather than stark white for the most flattering contrast. And add gold or bronze accents to enhance the warm, earthy undertones. The visual goal is natural luxury that looks effortless and expensive. Your rust and cream palette should feel sophisticated and earthy while being completely accessible through thoughtful colour coordination and natural styling choices. Colour combination number 13, Midnight Blue and Rose Gold Modern Glamour. Here's what creates that polished look when combining colours. Midnight Blue and Rose Gold create the perfect modern glamour that signals contemporary sophistication and quality. What I've found consistently works is that Midnight Blue provides depth and richness, while Rose Gold adds warmth and luxury through subtle metallic undertones. The key insight is that this combination works because it balances cool and warm undertones to create the most flattering and expensive-looking palette. Look at how sophisticated women demonstrate this colour pairing. They use Midnight Blue as their sophisticated base, with rose gold accents that add warmth and luxury to the cool foundation. Here's your strategy. Choose Midnight Blue in quality fabrics that showcase the depth of the colour. Add rose gold through jewellery, accessories or metallic details, and ensure the blue is deep and rich rather than bright or electric. The visual result should be modern glamour that looks intentional and expensive. Here's what I believe every woman should understand. The right colour combinations can make any outfit look expensive regardless of the actual price. Colour combination number 14, Olive Green and Soft Pink, Unexpected Sophistication. Watch what happens when you combine olive green and soft pink. This unexpected pairing creates the most sophisticated, expensive-looking combination that surprises everyone with its elegance and refinement. Here's exactly why this works so powerfully. Olive green provides earthy sophistication, while soft pink adds femininity without being juvenile or inappropriate for mature women. The professional secret is that unexpected colour combinations often look more expensive than obvious ones because they signal confident, sophisticated taste rather than following basic rules. What creates this expensive appearance is understanding that olive green and soft pink work together because they're both muted, sophisticated tones that create harmony rather than jarring contrast. Look at how Oprah Winfrey demonstrates this principle in her recent appearances. She combines unexpected colours like olive and pink in budget-friendly pieces that look incredibly expensive through smart colour coordination. Notice what makes her approach so effective. She chooses muted, sophisticated versions of both colours rather than bright or obvious tones. Here's your unexpected pairing strategy. Choose olive green in rich, muted tones rather than bright or military versions. Add soft pink through accessories, scarves, or secondary pieces, and ensure both colours are sophisticated rather than bright or juvenile. The visual goal is sophisticated surprise that looks intentional and expensive. Colour combination number 15. Charcoal and Soft Lavender, Refined Contrast. Something worth understanding about expensive-looking colour combinations is that charcoal and soft lavender create the most refined contrast that signals sophisticated taste and quality. Here's what makes this pairing so effective. Charcoal provides grounding and structure, while soft lavender adds subtle colour without being overwhelming or inappropriate. The principle behind this combination is that it creates enough contrast to be interesting while maintaining the sophisticated harmony that luxury brands favour. The difference between refined and harsh combinations is understanding that the contrast should be sophisticated rather than jarring or attention-seeking in ways that look cheap. Choose charcoal in quality fabrics that showcase the sophisticated neutrality. add soft lavender through accessories, scarves or accent pieces, and ensure the lavender is muted rather than bright or electric. The visual test is refined sophistication that looks intentional and expensive. Your charcoal and soft lavender palette should feel elegant and sophisticated while being completely achievable through thoughtful colour coordination and refined colour choices. Colour combination number 16, warm beige and copper, luxurious warmth. Here's something most women never consider. Warm beige and copper create the most luxurious, expensive-looking warmth that signals quality and sophisticated taste. The reason this combination works so beautifully is that warm beige provides sophisticated neutrality, while copper adds richness and luxury through warm metallic undertones. What creates more expensive-looking results is understanding that warm undertones are more flattering and luxurious than cool ones for most mature women. I worked with a client who was hesitant about wearing warm colours, but when we styled her in warm beige with copper accessories, she looked incredibly rich and expensive, while the combination brought warmth to her complexion. The warm beige and copper combination works because both colours enhance rather than compete with natural skin tones, while creating the kind of rich, warm palette associated with luxury. Choose warm beige in quality fabrics that showcase the sophisticated neutrality. Add copper through jewellery, belts, shoes, or metallic details, and ensure both colours have warm rather than cool undertones. The visual goal is luxurious warmth that looks intentional and expensive. Your warm beige and copper palette should feel rich and sophisticated while being completely achievable through smart colour selection and warm metallic accents. Colour combination number 17, deep teal and gold, jewel-toned luxury. Let me offer another perspective on expensive-looking colours. Deep teal and gold create the most luxurious jewel-tone combination that instantly elevates any outfit to expensive status. Here's what makes this pairing so effective. Deep teal provides richness and sophistication, while gold adds warmth and luxury that signals quality and good taste. The professional insight is that jewel tones paired with gold create the kind of rich palette that luxury brands use in their most expensive pieces. What strikes me about this combination is that it works because deep teal and gold are naturally harmonious colours that create luxury without being overwhelming or inappropriate. The solution is using deep teal as your rich colour statement with gold accents that enhance the luxurious quality of the jewel tone. Choose deep teal in quality fabrics that showcase the richness and depth of the colour. Add gold through jewellery, accessories or metallic details, and ensure the teal is deep and rich rather than bright or electric. The visual checkpoint is jewel-toned luxury that looks intentional and expensive. Colour combination number 18, soft grey and blush modern femininity. Here's something I think every woman should know. Soft grey and blush create the perfect modern femininity that looks expensive while being completely appropriate for mature women. What I know from years of experience is that this combination works because soft grey provides sophistication, while blush adds femininity without being juvenile or inappropriate. The framework I use with clients focuses on colours that enhance rather than fight against mature beauty, and soft grey with blush does exactly that. Something that consistently surprises my clients is how sophisticated and expensive this combination looks while being completely achievable through smart shopping and colour coordination. The key is choosing soft, warm greys rather than cool or stark tones, adding blush through accessories, scarves or accent pieces, and ensuring both colours are muted and sophisticated rather than bright or obvious. Look for soft grey in quality fabrics that showcase the sophisticated neutrality. Pair with warm blush rather than bright pink for the most flattering effect, and add silver or rose gold accents to enhance the sophisticated palette. The visual test is modern femininity that looks intentional and expensive. Which colour transformation are you most excited to try? I'm curious which of these expensive-looking combinations will make the biggest difference in your sophisticated wardrobe. Colour combination number 19, wine and cream, classic richness. Here's an approach that could be really helpful. Wine and cream create the most classic, expensive-looking richness that signals sophisticated taste and quality investment pieces. The reason this combination works so effectively is that wine provides depth and luxury, while cream adds brightness and elegance without being stark or harsh. What I've developed through my work is an understanding that rich, classic combinations always look more expensive than trendy or obvious colour pairings. I'm excited to share something that might help elevate your entire wardrobe. Wine and cream work together because they create the kind of timeless, rich palette that never goes out of style. The practical approach means choosing wine in deep, rich tones rather than bright or purple-red versions, pairing with warm cream rather than stark white for the most elegant contrast, and adding gold accents to enhance the warm, rich undertones. Consider wine as your statement colour through key pieces like blazers or dresses. Use cream for balance through blouses, accessories or shoes, and ensure both colours are sophisticated rather than bright or attention-seeking. The functionality test is classic richness that looks timeless and expensive. Colour combination number 20, Caramel and Ivory, timeless sophistication. This is what I hope every woman realises. Caramel and Ivory create the most timeless, expensive-looking sophistication that transcends trends and seasons while always looking current and polished. The ultimate secret is that this combination works because both colours are warm, rich neutrals that create the kind of sophisticated palette that luxury brands return to repeatedly. What makes this pairing truly special is that it allows quality and fit to shine while creating warmth and richness that enhances rather than competes with your natural beauty. The most stylish women I work with understand that Caramel and Ivory provide the foundation for sophisticated dressing that looks expensive regardless of actual price point, creating timeless elegance through smart colour coordination. When you master this classic combination, you have a colour palette that works for decades rather than seasons, providing the foundation for sophisticated style that never looks dated or inappropriate. The secret to timeless sophistication is choosing colours that enhance your natural colouring while creating the kind of rich, warm palette associated with luxury and quality. Choose Caramel in rich, true tones that showcase warmth and depth. Pair with Ivory rather than stark white for the most flattering contrast, and add gold accents to enhance the warm, luxurious undertones. Your Caramel and Ivory combination should feel timeless and expensive while being completely achievable through thoughtful colour coordination and classic styling principles that never go out of style. You now have 20 expensive-looking colour combinations that will transform your wardrobe without breaking your budget. Pick the 3 palettes that excite you most and start incorporating them this week. I'd love to hear about your colour transformations in the comments. Check out one of the 2 videos on your screen now. See you in our next video.